See all this right here, man. They are not TV. 10 minutes away. What's up, guys? Alright, this is my favorite spots to fish Washington salmon from the kayak. You don't have to have a kayak, but you might need a boat to get to some of these places. I'm sharing this information free of charge. I hope you find this information useful, and let's get on with this. Okay, location 1 is Buoy 10, where the Columbia River meets the Pacific Ocean. The Columbia River splits Oregon and Washington for a long time, right from where it meets the ocean and then upstream for quite a while. This area is famous for its large Chinook and big runs of them, actually, some years much more than others. And it also has good runs of Coho and other salmon. This is a great place where I like to fish kind of around July and August. You'll see a lot of boat traffic there, and if you're going to get a campground or a hotel, you need to get that stuff in advance. I like to launch from the Cape Disappointment boat ramp, which is on the east side of it's east of the campground, and it launches into the riverside. It doesn't have an abundant amount of parking, but there's usually adequate parking if you show up early. Okay, one area I like to fish is the main channel in between these two areas, between the south end of Sand Island and Buoy 10 itself. You can fish whatever depth you want, but I usually fish within 35 feet of the surface. It's usually roughest out there. I also like to fish between Sand Island and the Cape itself. That channel in there, it's real busy with traffic. Watch it in there. You can get clipped by people running real fast in their boats, but in between all the islands or choke points, you can catch fish in there. The baits I like to use here are Brad's cut plug, spoons, and herring. I might also use a mag lip or something like that. Baker Bay is a good place to fish when the tide's coming in, and this is when the fish will follow the bait in, and it's pretty shallow in a lot of parts of Baker Bay except for right at the entrance where it comes into the main channel. But there's fish to be caught in here. You can look for diving birds, you can look for surface bait. This is a good place to troll herring, and sometimes you'll see jumping fish. Okay, the next area I'd like to talk about is Possession Point. I'm fishing here for cohos and pink salmon in July and August. If you really learn this place well, or if you just have some good luck, you can pick up a limit of fish pretty quick. By the time mid-July happens, there's a lot of bait in this area, and there's ocean fish moving in and resident fish there. Usually those are coho, what I'm talking about. And then in July, pink salmon will come in on the odd years. I usually access this area from Possession Beach Park. There's limited parking there. Alternatives are at Mukilteo or other places. Anyway, I like to fish right near the point, between there and that green buoy, and sometimes out west of there, north of that ferry. On the outskirts of the kelp bed is where I like to focus my attention. Typically what I'm using here is spoons, mag lips, and buzz bombs. A lot of stuff will work. There's Possession Point bait nearby. They have fresh herring. It's live when you buy it. I recommend them. That's a real nice guy who runs that place. There can be a lot of boat traffic in this area, but it's worse over at Mukilteo, so I recommend this if you want to escape the crowds on a weekday, not on like a Friday of a 4-day weekend or anything. This is a good spot. Alright, I'm going to talk about Clallam Bay next. This is next to the town of Sekiu as well. People know Sekiu. This is a salmon fishing destination, and I'm usually targeting Chinook and Coho. There's pink salmon that come in on the odd years. I like to target the rip line that forms at the head of the bay where it meets the Strait of Juan de Fuca. A lot of coho hang around here, and there's some rockfish in the bay as well, and some kelp, greenling in the kelp beds. But this is a good spot to run either herring, you want to run mag lips, spoons, Brad's cut plug, all that stuff will work. This is where I launch my kayak from this beach here, and I park right there. There used to be good access on the east side of the bay, but things have changed. It looks like their bridge got wiped out, and so this is where I'd recommend launching your kayak from. You might have to carry it down a hill. You might need another person. And I'm showing you the map here where I generally like to target the salmon. Just keep your eye on the wind forecast. Freshwater Bay is close proximity to Port Angeles. It has a pretty easy kayak launch with adequate parking. Coming on weekdays is usually good. There's a local crew that you'll see there coming out of Port Angeles. Those guys are cool. Usually fish between Observatory Point and Tongue Point. Jig anywhere you think there might be Chinook. They like to hang out on the points sometimes. Usually fish in July and August. I'm not afraid to troll along the kelp beds as well, up close to the rocks. Showing you the boat launch there. If I remember correctly, they don't allow you to keep salmon in the bay. Anyway, I got the line on the map there showing you where I focus. You'll see other boats there. Watch the wind forecast. Anything that I used at Sekiu is good here. Mag lips, spoons, herring, Brad's cut plug, things like that. Moving on to Bush Point. This is on the west side of Whidbey Island. Fishing is inside what's called Admiralty Inlet. I usually fish from the point and north. Target species: Coho, pink, and Chinook, probably in that order. July and August have been the most productive for me. You can pick up fish into September, I'm sure. Alright, I'm showing you the boat ramp here. It's not a big ramp and it's quite sandy. And the parking lot, you should pay attention to where you park. Respect the locals. Alright, I usually fish pretty close to shore. There's a lot of shore fishermen here, so keep out of their way. I like to throw buzz bombs at the eddy near the head of the point. Moving on to Hood Sport. This is pretty much a chum destination, a great place to take your kids, catch some chum in the shallow water. I don't eat chum, a lot of people don't, but they fight real good, they get real big, and they're real fun. It's something that doesn't require a lot of preparation. At Hood Sport, I'm pretty much throwing jigs or spoons up to like 1 ounce. I'm usually fishing here in October, early November. The fishing is basically right outside the hatchery, and I launched just south of there. I had to carry my kayak down some steps. I'm showing you the parking spot on the street. It's a short distance from the parking spot over to the fishing area. Just watch for high winds. If you're a fly fisherman, these are big fish. This could be a good spot to fight a big salmon with minimal effort. A lot of the fishing will be within less than 6 feet of water, sometimes less than 12 inches. There are some sea lions and things, so pay attention to your surroundings. They'll run up, steal your fish, might even tip you over if you're not paying attention. And the final area of this video is Mukilteo. I'm including this because it's kind of close to Seattle area. Target species: Coho, Chinook, and pink. This is good, easy access after work. July through September's are the peak months. The boat ramp is notorious for being a little bit of a challenge. I recommend a high clearance truck or four-wheel drive if you're actually launching a boat. I like to fish anywhere in the strait, shallow or deep. I'm going to get into lures briefly. I'm just going to tell you I'm not the voodoo guy that thinks you have to wear gloves when you put your bait on or things. I just use simple stuff and the fish bite it. I like to use spoons 2 to 3 inches. Two-tone's my favorite. I like to have some that are heavier for casting and sinking in the water better. I do like those big river bait hooks. I like to use buzz bombs, 2-tone or pink, 3XL or 4 are my favorite sizes. The mag lip style lure is actually one of the best of all kind for coho, and I use it in different sizes and different colors, even in freshwater. It's a very effective lure. Don't underestimate it. For Chinook, I have had a lot of good luck with the Brad's Cut plug, or just with herring, and then some of the larger size mag lip style lures. Once again, I prefer something 2-tone. That's a Quick Fish K15, K13. These put off a lot of vibration. You don't really need to use any sort of flasher with these. My favorite jigs are the Point Wilson Dart, crippled herring style lures. Anything that drops quick to the bottom when I'm in deeper water. Well, hopefully you found some of this information helpful for you. Good luck out there on the water.